Well, it could be either from the internal audit department not providing the right number of resources that they needed, or the plan was not properly presented, and also depends on other facts like the budget strategy. We sometimes see that there are certain risks raised on time. It was not based on any initial signals that happened or happening at the same time. So many factors could play a role in that, but if it was clear and ignored, some responsibility could be shared between those parties. The audit committee could be held responsible if they have not taken the right action, providing the right framework, corporate governance practices, and failed to bring those actions in place professionally. Then it is a failure of the roles and responsibilities of the audit committee. Whistleblower is not mandatory in a company. It really depends on the risk associated, the scale of the company. It varies between one company and another. So it usually comes as complementary for best practice, but it is not part of the standards that should be placed in a company normally. It is always good to sit with the management and know more about the business, but it could be a risk for involving deeply in the operation, and that where we should know the scope and the function of the audit committee, whereby it should not really go to the operation, but putting the right process to flow the information through presentations, formal meetings, that aligned with the scope and mandate and the audit charter, and that is, I think, and I believe, the best way to do it. The audit committee could always meet the company leaders and the board, seeing the strategies there, but doing that at the level of the audit committee could always happen if there is any findings, observations, and where you can open the dialogue to understand more before sending the report and the findings to the board for decision making about it. But doing that function aside from the board to understand the strategies and meeting leaders, I don't believe it is part of the audit committee function. I think that is the NRC committee responsibility to look after the incentives and make a recommendation about it to the board. And it is not the responsibility of the audit committee unless they were asked to review it and observe it and make the necessary search about it assigned by the board. That will be the right time to do it. Otherwise, like I said, it is the NRC role. Not having a proper charter addressing the responsibility, scope, roles of audit committee is the biggest mistake that any audit committee would fall in. In addition to that, having inadequate meetings with the management to follow up the findings and observation, that is a big risk and challenge. One more thing is that over-reliance on the management in analyzing and discussing the findings, but not depending and relying on the committee members' discussion, expertise and capacity to follow up and discuss the findings. Weak assessment of risk management could be another mistake if not considered by audit committee, and it reflects a big impact in the company performance if there was any risk and not considered by them.